Math-sayang araw mga batang mandunong! Kumusta po kayo? Ako nga po pala si Erica Angelica S. Bensan, isang math teacher at grade 8 Mirabel advisor mula sa City of Mandaluyong Science High School. Bago tayo magsimula, nais ko po munang batiin ng isang mapagpalang umaga ang aming SDO family sa pangunguna ni Dr. Romela M. Cruz Sese, ang aming OIC-STS, Dr. Aurelio G. Alfonso, ang aming OIC-ASTS, Ginang Emma G. Arubio, ang aming SGOD Chief, Dr. Aline G. Mendoza, ang aming CID Chief, Mr. Resty Aerodelas, ang aming napakasipag na Education Program Supervisor, Mr. Roderick R. Menzola, ang aming masipag, matalino at mabait na school head, ang aking mga kapwa-guro, mga batang mandunong, mga home learning partners, at sa lahat ng nanonood ngayong araw, muli, isang matsaya at mapagpalang araw ng pagkatuto. Welcome to Project SOAR Week 9, series of online academic reviews of mathematics CLAID learning modules. Para sa ating mga viewers, please do not forget to follow our official Facebook page, Math Team, Mathematics Teachers Association of Mandaluyong, and do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell para maging updated sa ating upcoming videos. Bago natin simulan ang talakayan ngayong araw, atin po munang pakinggan ang napakagaling at napakasipag na school head ng City of Mandaluyong Science High School. Walang iba ang nag-iisa at natatangi, si Mr. Roderick R. Menzola.
Yay! Congratulations po sa ating Education Program Supervisor for Mathematics, Mr. Teacher Virgilio, from whose great mind germinated this Project SOAR, or series of online academic reviews for mathematics based on the CLAID learning modules. The great labor or the quality of labors put in by our mathematics teachers from across the SDO Mandaluyong have cemented the excellent reputation of this worthwhile endeavor, and I couldn't wait to be part of this program, to somehow serve as a guest lecturer in the future. Well, I'm also very honored, I'm very blessed to be the school head of my colleagues from the City of Mandaluyong Science High School, who are also inspired to share their knowledge and expertise to our mathematics learners. Sa inyo, maraming salamat for accepting the challenge, at naway pagpatuloy niyo pong matulungan ang ating mga mandunong kids. Sa lahat po ng bumubuo ng Project SOAR, congratulations po sa inyo, and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Maraming salamat Mr. Menzola sa iyong napakaganda at makahulugang mensahe para sa aming lahat ngayong araw na ito. Ngayon naman, dumako na tayo sa pinakahihintay ng ating mga learners and home learning partners ngayong araw. Our first lecturer for today is a Teacher 1 in City of Mandaluyong Science High School for 3 years. He is currently a grade 7 and grade 8 math teacher. He is also the advisor of grade 8 Brown and a Math 8 module writer. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in Mathematics, batch 2014 at Rizal Technological University. Our grade 7 lecturer for today, none other than Mr. Virgilio R. Jr.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Bensan. Mapagpalang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ganon din sa bumubuo ng Project SOAR. Lalong-lalo na sa mga batang nakikinig at sumusubaybay, mga batang mandunong. Ako po si Mr. Manasio, grade 7 and grade 8 teacher ng CMSHS. Welcome sa week 9 ng Project SOAR. Simulan natin sa lesson 1. So, for lesson 1, ang objective natin, find the solution of linear equation and inequality in one variable. Solving equations using addition property of equality or APE. Let's have example number 1. X plus 3 equals 10. Sa x plus 3 equals 10, para ma-solve natin si variable x, kailangan natin siyang i-isolate sa isang side lang. So this time, kailangan natin tanggalin dito si positive 3. Para mawala dito si positive 3, kailangan mag-add tayo ng negative 3. Ngayon, ang sinasabi sa addition property of equality, kung ano daw yung in-add natin sa left side expression, yun din ang kailangan nating i-add sa right side expression. So, mag-add tayo ng additive inverse ni positive 3, which is negative 3. So, addition property of equality tells us that adding the same number to each side of an equation gives us an equivalent equation. Simplify natin itong equation natin. So, the answer is x equals 7. Ngayon, to check if the value of x is really equal to 7, i-substitute lang natin. Gamitin natin yung substitution property. So, palitan lang natin yung value ni x ng 7. So, 7 plus 3 equals 10. So, 10 is equals to 10. So, review lang tayo. Again, we isolate the variable. After isolating the variable, we apply, or to isolate the variable, we apply the addition property of equality, or the APE. So, in applying addition property of equality, we get the additive inverse of positive 3, which is negative 3. After nun, para ma-check natin kung tama yung naging sagot natin na x equals 7, gumamit tayo ng substitution property at na-prove natin using reflexive property that x is really equal to 7. Let's have another example. Example number 2, y minus 8 is equal to negative 5. Again, isolate the variable. So, to isolate the variable, let's apply addition property of equality. So, ano ba yung i-add natin both side? So, i-add natin both side yung additive inverse ni negative 8. So, ang additive inverse ng negative 8 is positive 8. Add tayo ngayon both side ng positive 8. So, simplify lang natin. Y equals 3. To check if our answer is correct, let's apply the substitution property. Yung y, papalitan lang natin ng positive 3. So, 3 minus 8 is equal to negative 5. And negative 5 is equal to negative 5 by reflexive property. Tingnan naman natin yung example number 3. X over 7 is equal to negative 2. Ang una natin kailangan gawin dito is to isolate x or the variable x. Pero kapag in-apply natin yung addition property of equality, hindi pa din natin ma-isolate dito si x. So, ang kailangan natin i-apply dito sa given na to is the multiplication property of equality. Ngayon, paano ba yung multiplication property of equality? So, multiplication property of equality states that when we multiply both sides of an equation by the same number, the two sides remain equal. So, kumpara sa addition property, nag-add tayo, this time, ang gagawin naman natin is magmumultiply tayo both sides. It states that if A is equals to B, then AC is equal to BC. Multiplying the same number on both sides of the equation in order to isolate the variable on one side of it and be able to find the value of the unknown or variable. So, isolate natin si variable dito gamit yung multiplication property of equality. So, paano ba yung ina-apply yung multiplication property of equality? So, hanapin natin yung multiplicative inverse naman. Kung sa addition property, ang hinahanap natin is additive inverse, sa multiplication property of equality, ang hinahanap natin is multiplicative inverse. So, bakit siya 1 over 7? Kung titingnan ninyo, x over 7, meron tayong numerical coefficient na 1. Kaya, ang hinahanapin nating multiplicative inverse is 1 over 7. Paano ba hanapin yung multiplicative inverse ng 1 over 7? Ngayon, mag-iisip kayo ng number na kung saan kapag minultiply natin yung number na naisip ninyo sa 1 over 7, dapat ang maging sagot ay equal siya sa 1. So, ang number na pwede nating i-multiply sa 1 over 7 na ang magiging sagot ay 1 is 7 over 1 or simply 7. Ngayon, itong 7 ang imumultiply natin sa equation para ma-isolate si x. So, multiply natin 7 over 1 or 7. So, in multiplying fraction, numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. Or just simply apply the cancellation. So, 7x over 7 is equals to negative 14. Simplify pa natin. X is equals to negative 14. To check if our answer is correct, substitute lang tayo ulit using the substitution property. X over 7 equals negative 2, where x is negative 14. Palitan natin yung x ng negative 14. And negative 14 divided by 7 is equals to negative 2. And negative 2 is equals to negative 2. So, we can say that x is really equal to negative 14. Now, let's have another example. Negative 6x equals 48. Isolate the variable. So, negative 6x equals 48. Let's find the multiplicative inverse of negative 6. Yung numerical coefficient ni negative 6x. So, ang multiplicative inverse o ang number na pwedeng i-multiply kay negative 6 para maging 1 is negative 1 over 6. Multiply natin both sides by negative 1 over 6. Simplify lang natin. The answer is negative 8. X is equal to negative 8. To check, substitute lang ulit tayo. So, x, palitan natin yung x ng negative 8. So, we have negative 6 times negative 8. That is 48. 48 is equal to 48. So, our x is equal to negative 8. In example number 5, negative 6x equals to 48. Merong ibang way or other reference to answer this. Okay? Which is yung under ni multiplication property of equality. The division property of equality. So, paano ba itong division property of equality? So, it states that when we divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number, the two sides remain equal. So, parang katulad din ng addition property, nag-add tayo, multiplication property, nagmumultiply tayo. Sa division naman, nagdi-divide tayo, both sides. So, it states that for any real number a, b, c, with c that is not equal to 0, if a is equal to b, then a divided by c is equal to b divided by c. So, paano yan? Paano i-isolate si variable? Gamit yung division property. Divide lang tayo ng numerical coefficient ni negative 6x. Since ang numerical coefficient ni negative 6x is negative 6, magdi-divide tayo both sides by negative 6. Simplify natin. X is equals to negative 8. To check, substitute lang tayo ulit. Multiply natin yung value ni x. 48 is equals to 48. So, same answer with multiplying property. Let's have another example in division. Negative 5x equals to 30. Isolate the variable. In isolating the variable, let's apply division. So, paano ba ina-apply yung division? Divide both sides by the numerical coefficient of negative 5x. Since ang numerical coefficient ni negative 5x is negative 5, magdi-divide tayo ngayon both sides by negative 5. So, negative 5 divided by negative 5. So, x is equal to negative 6. To check, substitute lang tayo. Negative 5 times the value of x, which is negative 6. So, 30 is equals to 30. Now, paano naman kapag ang example natin is 2x minus 5 equals 3? Pwede ba natin applyan to ng addition property of equality para ma-isolate natin si x dito? Or multiplication property of equality para ma-isolate natin si x dito? Or kailangan natin i-apply yung addition property and multiplication property to isolate x. So, on this example, we have to apply two or more properties of equality to solve the value of the variable. So, let's try this one. So, to isolate the variable, so kailangan applyan natin ng two or more properties. So, pwedeng unahin natin si multiplication property of equality or addition property of equality. But on this example, parang mas madali, unahin na natin si addition property of equality. So, tanggalin natin yung negative 5 by adding both sides by the additive inverse of negative 5. So, which is positive 5. So, add tayo, positive 5, both sides. Simplify lang natin. 2x equals 8. Now, let's apply the multiplication property of equality by multiplying both sides by the multiplicative inverse of positive 2. So, ang multiplicative inverse ng positive 2 is 1/2. So, multiply tayo, 1/2 on both sides. So, simplify natin. So, x is equal to 4. To check if our answer is correct, substitute lang tayo sa original given natin. 2x minus 5 equals 3. If x is 4, so substitute natin. Palitan natin tong x ng 4. So 2 times 4 is 8 minus 5 equals 3. And 3 is equals to 3. So therefore, we can say that the value of x on this given, 2x minus 5 equals 3, is really equal to 4. Now, for lesson 2. Linear equation or inequality in one variable involving absolute value. For this objective, we are going to determine the solution set of a linear equation or inequality involving absolute value. Let's start with this. The absolute value of x equals 5. Ngayon, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng absolute value? So, pag sinabi kasi natin absolute value, it means how far a number is from 0. So, ibig sabihin, hanapin pala natin dito, or ang sinasabi dito sa example number 1, na itong absolute value na x is 5 units away from 0. So, applyan natin ng number line. So, kung ang x daw is 5 units from 0, so, we can say that positive 5 is 5 away from 0. And also, negative 5 is 5 away from 0. So, therefore, if we have an example, absolute value of x equals 5, we can say that x is equals to 5 and x is equals to negative 5. Kasi based sa definition ni absolute value, how far a number is from 0. From 0, 5 units away si positive 5 and 5 units away din si negative 5. Kaya naging positive 5 and negative 5 ang absolute value of x that is equal to 5. Let's try number 2 example. The absolute value of x minus 5 equals to 3. So, kanina, nakita natin na positive 5 and positive 3. Ganon din pagdating dito. So, positive 3x minus 5 equals positive 3 and x minus 5 equals to negative 3. So, 3 units away from the 0 and 3 units away from the 0, si negative 3. Kaya, dalawa po sila. So, x minus 5 plus 5 equals 3 plus 5. So, in-applyan lang natin dito ng addition property para ma-isolate natin si x. To simplify, x is equals to 8. Dito naman, sa right side, x minus 5 equals negative 3. Add din tayo both sides by positive 5 to isolate x. Simplify, x equals positive 2. So, we can say that the solutions for x are 2 and 8. The value of x are 2 and 8. Let's have example number 3. The absolute value of x is equal to negative 10. Now, take note that if the absolute value set is equal to negative number, then there is no solution. Again, if the absolute value set is equal to negative number, then there is no solution. So, wala pong solution dito sa example number 3. Ayan. Kung kanina, nag-solve tayo ng linear equation involving absolute value, this time, we're going to solve linear inequality involving absolute value by graphing and algebraic method. So, let's have example number 1. So, dito pala, meron tayong 4 na case. So, yung case 1, if the absolute value of x is less than c. So, sa absolute value of x less than c, merong dalawa. Yung una is x is less than c and x is greater than negative c. Or x is greater than negative c but less than positive c. So, paano po yan? Let's have this one as our example. The absolute value of x is less than 5. Ngayon, remember that absolute value, it means how far a number is from 0. Ngayon, ang sinasabi dito, ano daw yung mga value ni x na less than 5 away from 0. So, pakita natin siya in number line. Ayan. So, gamit ako ng unshaded circle. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng unshaded circle? Ang ibig sabihin ng unshaded circle, hindi siya kasama sa solution, sa value ni x. So, ibig sabihin kapag shaded naman siya, kasama siya sa solution or sa value ni x. But this time, ang ginamit ko is unshaded kasi nga, less than 5 away from 0 lang yung tinutukoy ni example number 1. So, ang mga value ngayon ni x is this. Ayan. So, lahat ng nadaanan nitong shade natin dito. Yan yung value ngayon ni x. Less than 5 away from 0. So, start tayo by 4.9, 4.8, hanggang 4, 3, 2, 1, to 0. And those are the less than 5 away from 0. But don't forget that we also have here that is less than 5 away from 0. So, yung negative 4.9, negative 4.8, negative 4.7, negative 4, negative 3 are also part of the value of absolute value of x that are less than 5 away from 0. So, therefore, we can say that x is less than 5 and x is less than negative 5. So, ano yung mga number na yun? So, pag pinagsama natin siya in one solution, so x is greater than negative 5 but less than positive 5. Let's have another example in case 1. So, take note that it also applies for the absolute value of x that is less than or equal to c. So, yung dalawang condition nun, x is less than or equal to c and x is greater than or equal to negative c, or x is greater than or equal to negative c but less than or equal to positive c. So, let's have this. The absolute value of x minus 4 is less than 2. Ayan. So, meron tayong dalawa. Yung una, x minus 4 is less than positive 2. At yung isa naman is x minus 4 greater than negative 2. Simplify lang natin. So, isolate natin si x to have the value of the variable x by applying the addition property of equality. Add tayo both sides by 4. X is less than 6. While on the other side, add tayo by 4 to isolate x. So, x is greater than positive 2. Ngayon, paano siya in a number line? So, sa number line, since x is greater than 2, unshaded ngayon yung 2 kasi nga hindi siya kasama. Ganon din si 6 kasi nga ang value daw ni x is less than 6. So, based dito, x is greater than 2 but less than 6. So, ano ba yung mga value or value ni x na greater than 2 but less than 6? Those are 3, 4, and 5. Kaya ganito ngayon yung figure natin or itsura ng number line natin. Now, let's have case number 2. If the absolute value of x is greater than c naman tayo. So, either x is greater than c or x is less than negative c. So, it also applies for the absolute value of greater than or equal to c. So, and that is x is greater than or equal to c or x is greater than or equal to negative c. So, let's have this example. The absolute value of x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 3. So, meron ulit tayong dalawa. Yung x plus 6 is less than or equal to negative 3 and x plus 6 is greater than or equal to positive 3. So, unahin na natin tong positive 3. So, isolate lang natin ulit si variable x by applying the addition property of equality, adding both sides by negative 6. Simplify natin. X is greater than or equal to negative 3. While on the other side, isolate ulit natin si x by adding both sides by the additive inverse of 6, which is negative 6. Simplify lang natin. X is less than or equal to negative 9. Ngayon, x is less than or equal to negative 9 or x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Pag sa number line natin yan, ngayon, take note na kasama na si negative 9 at saka si negative 3. Sabi dito sa una, x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Kaya yung circle natin ngayon is shaded na. Ganon din sa x is less than or equal to negative 9, kaya shaded na din dito si negative 9. Ngayon, ang tanong, saan papunta ngayon yung shaded natin? So, try tayo ng isang value ni x. Ano ba yung mga number na greater than negative 3? And that is 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. Doon naman sa kabila, ano yung mga value na less than negative 9? And those are negative 12, negative 15, negative 18. So, kaya magiging ganito yung mga shaded natin. So, papunta dito sa left side, yung sa may negative 9, at papunta naman dito sa right side, yung shaded natin sa negative 3. Ngayon, sa case number 3, if the absolute value of x is greater than negative c, or the absolute value of x is greater than or equal to negative c, take note that the absolute value of any number is either 0 or positive. So it makes sense that it must always be greater than any negative number. Therefore, the answer for this case is always no solution. For case number 4, the absolute value of x is less than negative c, or the absolute value of x is less than or equal to negative c. Also take note of this, that the absolute value of any number is either 0 or positive. It makes sense that it must be always be greater than any negative number. So the answer to this case is always all real numbers. Now, for lesson 3 and our last lesson, problems involving equations and inequality in one variable. So, for our objective, solve problem involving equations and inequality in one variable. So, let's start with this. Ngayon, in solving word problems, one must know how to formulate an equation or inequality based on the given problem. So, ito yung mga steps. Una, you have to read the problem carefully. Second, represent naman natin yung mga unknown by using a variable. Third, form an equation or inequality based on the given in the problem. Fourth, solve the equation or inequality. Ngayon, to make sure na yung sagot natin ay tama talaga, we have to check for our answer. So, magkakaroon tayo ng checking mamaya. So, let's have this example number 1. One number is 5 more than thrice the number. Their sum is 41. So, find the numbers. So, hanapin daw natin yung numbers. So, una, by reading the problem, we notice two things. So, ano yung napansin natin? Yung una, one number is 5 more than thrice the number. Yung pangalawa naman, their sum is 41. So, yun yung mga given na pwede nating magamit. In representing those given, let x be the number. Kasi sabi dito, 5 more than thrice the number. Hindi naman natin alam particularly kung ano ba yung tinutukoy na number. So, let us represent it as x. Ngayon, yung isa naman, 3x plus 5, one number. Kasi sabi dito, ang one number daw, equal daw siya sa 5 more than thrice the number. Eh, alam na natin yung number. Yung number, yung the number, na-represent natin siya as x. Kaya ngayon, meron tayo ditong thrice the number, 3x, then more than 5. Kaya sa one number, 3x plus 5 natin siya na-represent. Now, let's now formulate an equation. So, paano ba tayo mag-formulate ang equation? Kung mapapansin ninyo kanina, dun sa step 1 natin, nalaman natin na ang sum ni one number at saka ni the number ay equal sa 41. So, one number plus the number equals 41. So we can say that 3x plus 5 plus x is equal to 41. Now, let's solve the equation. 3x plus 5 plus x, or one number plus number, is equal to 41. So, simplify lang natin. Let's add the like terms. 3x plus x is 4x plus 5 equals 41. Let's apply the addition property of equality. So, para ma-isolate natin dito si x, apply natin yung APE. Add tayo ng additive inverse ni 5. So, add tayo ng negative 5 on both sides. So, we have 4x equals 36. Then, let's apply multiplication property of equality by multiplying both sides by 1/4. The multiplicative inverse of positive 4. So, simplify lang natin. X is equals to 9. Ngayon, ang hinahanap natin dito is yung numbers, not literally yung value talaga nung unknown. Sige, for step 5, checking tayo. Check the answer if x is equals to 9. Ngayon, sabi dito, the number represent as the x. So, ibig sabihin yung isang number pala natin, equal siya sa 9. Yung isa naman, 32. Since 9 times 3 or thrice 9 is 27 plus 5, that is equals to 32. So, the number is equals to 9 and the one number is 32. Check pa natin siya. Based dito sa example natin. One number is more than thrice the number, their sum is 41. Find the numbers. So, alam na natin kung ano yung value ni one number. Ang value ni one number is 32. While 5 more than thrice the number, it is equivalent to 3 times the quantity of 9 plus 5. Kasi nga sabi, thrice the number, so which is 9, thrice natin yung 9, plus 5. So, 32 is equal to 32. So, tama tayo doon. So, ibig sabihin, tama na ang number natin ay 9 at yung one number natin ay 32. Try naman natin yung isa pang given, which is their sum is 41. So, pag pinag-add ba natin si the number at one number, equal ba siya sa 41? Yes. So, ibig sabihin, tama talaga na ang number natin ay 9 at yung one number natin ay 32. So, the numbers that we are looking for is 32 and 9. Let's have example number 2. The sum of twice a number and 10 is less than negative 18. What is the set of numbers? So, kung titingnan ninyo sa given natin, the sum of twice a number and 10. So, dun muna tayo. So, hahanapin pala natin yung sum nung twice a number. Pero, ano ba yung a number? Let's represent a number by x. So, ibig sabihin, pag twice natin si x, we have 2x. So, ang hinahanap pala natin dito na sum is si 2x and 10. Since the sum of 2x and 10 is less than negative 18. So, yun muna yung gawa natin ng equation. 2x plus 10. Kasi yun yung hanapin natin ng sum, si 2x and 10. Ngayon, meron ditong word na is less than. Kapag nakakita kayo ng word na is less than, is greater than, at most, at least, ang ibig sabihin yan, inequality symbol ang gagamitin ninyo. Okay? Hindi siya minus, hindi siya plus pag is greater than. So, pag is less than, ang gagamitin ninyo is inequality symbol na less than. So, palitan natin yung is less than ng inequality symbol na less than. Yeah. So, we have now our inequality. 2x plus 10 is less than negative 18. So, to solve for the value of x, since ang hinahanap natin dito is the set of numbers, so, isolate lang natin si x by applying the addition property of equality. So, add tayo ng negative 10, both sides. Simplify natin. So, 2x is less than negative 28. Apply tayo ng multiplication property. Multiply tayo both sides by 1/2. So, x is less than negative 14. So, ang set ng numbers na hinahanap natin is, the solution set is the set of all x such that x is less than negative 14. So, lahat ng value na less than negative 14 is the set of numbers that we are looking for. Yan. So, that's it. So, maraming salamat sa pakikinig and God bless. So, ito po yung mga reference na ginamit ko. So, shoutout pala kay Francis Cultura, tsaka kay Ma'am Bensan, tsaka kay Ma'am Anastasio, tsaka sa grade 8 Brown ng CMSHS. So, pagpalain po kayong lahat.